I would suddenly wake up and couldn't breathe. And I'd be gasping for breath, gasping for breath.
When I was about 10, I got real sick with strep throat, and it went into rheumatic fever. Didn't think any more about it, except that I couldn't run anymore. Just didn't have the strength.
If I could not immediately get my breath, I would get up and walk around the house, drink a glass of milk. Normally by that time, I felt just fine. I was breathing normally, and I'd go back to bed.
A few years later, I went to the ER, and the doctor told me that I had mitral stenosis, which meant that I would have to have a new valve in about 20 years.
This happened countless times. And for whatever ignorant reasons, I just blew it off. I guess because I always came out of it fine, I just did not pursue what was going on with me.
I was at work at Delta. Suddenly I got this terrible headache. My face started getting numb, got real scared, and my speech started slurring. So I unplugged and started to get up. I could feel my foot touch the floor. So some of my coworkers helped me to the break room. And then I was taken to the hospital, where I learned that I'd had a light stroke.
I loved working in my yard, and in fact, the day that I went into congestive heart failure in August of 11, I had been working.
I started getting real tired, so I thought, it could be that mitral valve. Well, one day I passed out in front of the cath lab. They determined that it was time to replace my mitral valve that the doctor talked about many years ago. Scariest moment of my life when they told me that I was going to be in surgery for 6 hours.
As I walked up the yard coming back to the house, I remember having to slow down, trying to get the breaths. Again it passed, but at 11 o'clock that night, it said, "Hello, this is your heart speaking. I think I'm going to stop now."
Everything went pretty well with the surgery, but 6 months later, I started getting really sick again, and I couldn't breathe. So I was taken to the hospital, where I found out that I had endocarditis. It's an infection around that valve that I'd had replaced. They also discovered that I had ovarian cancer 3C.
That is when my husband rushed me to Longview Regional. They found out that I had 3 blocked arteries, 100%, 90%, and 60%, and I had a defective mitral valve. He said, "Kathy, your heart has been working on only 10%, and is exactly as the surgeon had mentioned. The next morning around 10-something in the morning, I went into cardiac arrest. It took them 29 minutes to get me back. They could have stopped after 5 minutes. They could have stopped after 10 minutes. But something told that nurse to keep going with me.
I often turned to the book of Psalms. I had a little book that lay by my bed when I was in that hospital room for 60 days. I would just reach over and read a page out of that, and it would keep me going. A lot of times I'd shed tears, think, why me, you know? But I think it became real strong.
I believe all of this has made me stronger. When you are put into such dire consequences, and when you are faced with your mortality, you can either just say, "Oh, well, go ahead and take me, you know, that this is it, I'm gone." Or you can say, "No, I want to live, and I want to live with the best quality of life that I can possibly have." You think about, no matter how sick you may be, whatever a bad heart you may have, cancer, whatever, there's always people that have it so much worse than you. It's all those reasons combined that you just become stronger. You don't fear as much.
I just feel like there's a lot more things out there for me to do. I'm just going to keep on going.